Hello everyone and welcome to the Sim Auto Racing Association Tundra Super Sim Series presented by Loco Toco Designs. We're at South Boston Speedway here tonight for the South Boston Dr. Noise 150. I'm your host Derek Robinson. Thank you for joining us here tonight for 150 laps of super late model action here, and you have some of the top sim super late model drivers out here tonight that's going to do battle and see who can come out on top. But before we talk too much about tonight, let's talk about last week's race for the Tundra Super Sim Series and some of the races that happened in SARA this week. Last week we were at Irwindale Speedway, where Tom Majeski came away for his 78th career win. He led 244 laps and pretty much dominated the race, and it was a posse 1, 2, 3 filling up the boxes for the podium, where Joe Schaefer Jr. came in second, Bill Martin came in third, and shook up the points there a little bit as Joe Schaefer Jr. gained a little bit of ground, and we'll show those here before we start tonight's event to catch everyone up on the points. Monday night saw the Can-Am Racing Series lead admin Greg Netherwood come away with the win in the Dirt Open Wheel Series here at SARA. We're racing in the midgets. He led 24 laps for his first career SARA win at Charlotte Motor Speedway on the dirt track here at Charlotte. Zach Patson was your hard charger of the night, getting +8 positions. Second, which is where he finishes in second place. Third place was yours truly, and fourth was David Bodio, and fifth was Josh Cotton. Yeah, points lead kind of stayed the same there as Bodio. David Bodio is leading the way in that, and I am currently second, 11 points behind him, and Josh Cotton is 34 behind David Bodio. Tuesday night was the UMP Modified Series, where they were racing at Lima Land Motorsports Park. David Kukurian came away, and he's racing here tonight, came away with the victory. It was his 31st career SARA win, and he led 51 laps, started 7th. Finishing second that night was Daryl Hamlin, third Clay Snyder, fourth Jared Barrels, fifth Tim Bills. Currently David Kukurian is leading the points in the UMP Modified Series. Clay Snyder is second, 24 behind BK, and third is Tim Bills, 44. So here tonight we are at South Boston Speedway, where this Super Sim Series has visited Sobo 11 times previously, with Justin Brooks being the only multi-time winner with 2 wins, while the following list of drivers have won at this track as well. And you have James Polsky, Cody Kelly, Trey Jarrell, Tom Wetmore, Jim Caudell, myself, Bill Martin, who is sponsoring tonight's race, is Dr. Noise himself, and Matt Coker. Last season, Trevor Edwards picked up his first career SARA win, leading all 150 laps of the race. Which leads us here tonight. We're at this 0.37 miles South Boston Speedway, where the air temp is 71 degrees. The track temp is also 71, with 3-mile-an-hour winds from the northwest, partly cloudy skies. And it should be a good race here tonight. And let's see if we can go ahead and bring in Bill Martin. Maybe we can get a couple of things from him, see how he thinks his race is going to go, and you know, maybe a few other things. Bill, how are you doing tonight, bud?
I don't know.
Perfect. If you don't know, then we don't know. So let's see if we can get it out of you here. You qualified third here tonight. You had posse teammates. They were in front of you there. Ty Spearman in second, and Joe Schaefer actually got the pole here. So apparently you'll have some decent speed. Currently, you are, where you at? You're currently 9th on the practice chart. So how's your car feel currently?
Kind of crappy, honestly. I don't know what to expect out of it. Also, Joe and Spearman should have known better than to take the pole away from me in my race.
Yeah, that is kind of terrible teammates of them. Maybe you just go ahead and win the race, and you just kind of, you know, have the last laugh.
Let's not get carried away.
I don't know. You run really well here. I know you generally run well everywhere. Let's face facts. But especially here at South Boston, I feel that you're pretty quick. But I just got to name it off all the winners here from South Boston and the super late models for SARA, and your name's not on there. So, or no, your name is on there once. Excuse me, it is on there once. So I mean, do you think you can be the second 2-time winner? I mean, let's face it. You're fast. Spearman's fast. So you know, the posse definitely has something to show here.
We'll see. Those guys are running a different setup than I am. It's not super different, but we both built them at different times. They're built off the same set. They're built off the setup we used last week. But honestly, I don't have enough practice time, so It'll be anybody's guess how I'm going to end up doing. Hopefully
Well,
decent, but we'll see.
Well, we'll keep an eye on you for sure. And then thank you for sponsoring the race here tonight, Dr. Noise. You want to maybe explain what Dr. Noise exactly is for those who don't know?
I was originally a YouTube project where I could put my music up, and then eventually it became a real band. It's a band. It's music, if you want to hear it. The easiest way to hear it would be to go to Spotify. It's all on Spotify. And then after that, if you want to buy it, go to any of the other websites that sells music, iTunes or Bandcamp. But listen to it on Spotify first, because it's free.
All right. Well, is there any shout outs or anything you'd like to give before we let you get back out there, maybe get a few more laps of practice before Matt gets us going?
Absolutely not. Just kidding. Good luck to the posse, guys. And hopefully we all finish the race without spinning each other out this time.
Well, we'll definitely watch to see if that happens. And good luck to you tonight, bud.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
All right, bud. That was Bill Martin, who qualified third. He'll actually, due to the invert, will be starting fourth, so he's not going to miss out on too much here. Before we get things going underway, we'll go ahead and bring up we'll talk about the sponsors here real quick, because without them, we can't do any of this. Got the Tundra Super Late Model Series, which you're watching here tonight. Loco Toco Designs, who is the associate sponsor for this series, and they also sponsor a couple other races and do paint schemes for the iRacing service. Midwest Power Source, Hides Pride Leather and Sheepskin. Callaway Investments, who sponsors our Street Sock Series. I didn't speak on that. Joe won that on Wednesday, last night. Epic Media, our insurance options. Back 40 Wraps Inc., Down Each Chassis Works, Old School Motorsports, Dr. Noise, we just spoke with, Bill Martin, Area 52 Designs, Midwest Race Updates, and Dynamic Auto Sports. Go ahead and bring the standings up here as well. Jimmy Mullis is leading the points currently, with Joe Schaefer Jr. behind him. Zach Novak, David Kokorian, and Tim Bills rounds out your top 5 into the standings. Looks like we're going to go ahead and get the cars gridded up here, and we'll go over tonight's lineup. Like I stated before the invert, Joe Schaefer Jr. was your pole setter, setting fast time here tonight. But there was an invert, 6-car invert here. So Dallas Pataska will be leading the field to the green. There are 30 cars that will be taking the green here tonight, so it's going to be action-packed all the way around this little third of a mile bull ring. Go ahead and get all the cars lined up here. Dallas Pataska will be leading the way, as everyone is getting gridded up currently. Matt Rolfe, who is the league admin, is going over the instructions, which he does every race, just to let everyone know what's going on. There are no tires here tonight, so you're running on what you got right now for the rest of the race. We'll go ahead and go through the lineup. Like I said, starting on pole here tonight is Dallas Pataska. Second is Tim Bills. Third is Michael Goodard. Fourth is Bill Martin, who we just spoke with, and we'll see how he does here tonight. He's not too optimistic about his car setup, but don't let the guy fool you. He never is, and he still runs well. Fifth is the old Wiley vet and Ty Spearman. Sixth is your 3-time and defending Super Late Model Series champion, Joe Schaefer Jr. Seventh is Colin Ullman. Eighth is DK, who won Tuesday night. Ninth is Jimmy Mullis, who is your current point leader. And rounding out your top 10 is Ryan Matthews. So there you have it. There's our starting 10 here tonight. 10 fastest guys. There's going to be 150 laps. This track is always action-packed, as I stated, especially with 30 cars. There's going to be guys everywhere on this track. And we got one to go here. Pace laps don't take long on this short track. We'll see how quickly everyone can kind of get in the groove, and maybe we'll get some good side-by-side racing going on as well. As the pace lights are out, Ace car will be pulling off, and once all 4 wheels are off the racing surface, it is on Dallas Pataska to get this field going. Well, the pace car's off, and we are green, green, green. Pataska gets off to a great start going down into 3 as Tim Bills falls in behind him, and it's side by side from there on back. Pataska getting out to a good lead. Right now, everyone's just trying to work it out, fill their way out, and get some laps under their belt. We are single file 1 through 5 currently. You got Colin Ullman and Joe Schaefer Jr. side by side here for 6th place. Now, right now, the bottom groove is going to be where everyone wants to be, as the top side hasn't come in yet. But as this race goes on, especially if we get a lot of green flag laps, you're going to see guys moving that line up to the 2nd, maybe even 3rd groove, and you're going to see some maybe even work the apron. When I was here, that's exactly what I would do. Is Joe Schaefer Jr. barely squeezes in. They're behind Colin Ullman. Jimmy Mullis is right there behind him. Looks like maybe gave him a small break, because that's your 1 2 in series points. Down into turn 3. Working lap 6 of 150. Back around David Kokorian, he's still trying to work the outside here. If anybody can get the outside working at any track, it's going to be David Kokorian, whether it's on asphalt or dirt. And that guy's always just rim riding it. I will not use the term cushion for pavement, as some of the other professionals might, because there is no cushion on pavement. But DK will be on the outside of the rubber at most times if he can make it work. Like everyone's getting single file and filling each other out and trying to figure out what they have and maybe work their way up through the field, but you're going to have comers and goers. Going up here looking at Ty Sperman and the number 92 car. Like I said, he was 2nd fastest qualifier here tonight, and he was pretty quick in practice as well. And you heard Bill Martin talk about how they are running just a little bit different setups, which is not uncommon for teams. They'll generally have a good base setup, and then maybe they'll adjust it accordingly to their driving style. But as you can see, Ty Spearman's already moved up a half lane to a lane, into the turns, and he's holding his own. He's calling on and filling up his rear view mirror right now. But if they can get that top side working, we'll see some great racing here side by side, as Ullman's loose out of 4. I have to keep an eye on that, because if he's already loose now, he has some trouble as the run goes on. Head back here to our league admin and Matt Rolfe. Looks like he just got around the 60 car there of Keith Medeiros. Matt Rolfe is currently in P19. We just passed him on the high side, if I'm not mistaken, if I've seen that. It's in the T4X chassis and parts, SARA.com. Toyota Camry, excuse me, can't get it out. Oh, and there's a wreck going into 3. That was Donald Clark. Donald Clark and Matthew Eddy got into it a little bit. I'm not sure if he caught on camera, but I think Donald Clark got extremely loose out of 2. And got all crossed up right there on Matthew Eddy. See if we can get that pulled up there on the replay. Go back and watch the replay here. Yeah, Clark just gets loose out of it, and Matthew Eddy just tried to miss him and got into his right rear and turned him, unfortunately. It's a tough break for the both of them. But it looks like Clark had the most damage out of that, as he's got damage on the front and rear. Matthew Eddy's got he's got damage there on the front. They'll go in and get that looked at. He may end up staying out. It's not too bad there. Was our first caution of the night. As we have no lead changes, just 1 caution, and fastest lap so far is by Dallas Pataska, as he is your pole sitter due to the 6-car invert. Led every lap so far. Working, this will be lap 19 of 150. We've seen some guys try to work the outside line. See what was out there. Fortunately, we had that caution, or it may have started to come in. With the partly cloudy skies, it's not going to make it come in as quick, but it still should come in. We'll have to see how that ends up playing out. Got Tim Bills, who's currently in second, is Will and Dylan Motorsports Chevy. In third, it's Bill Martin, Dr. Noise himself, in the Car Show, 39. Fourth is Michael Goddard. Pretty top 5 so far is the old Wiley vet, Spearman. Like I stated here tonight, there's not any tires for this race. They should be good on fuel. So what you got right now is what you got, unless you come in under caution and make a few adjustments with the spring perch or with tape potentially, depending on how much you're currently running. I guess you suppose you can add some more fuel to it, but that's about all you can do. So when they're out here under green, as we got one to go, about the only thing they can mess with is the brake bias, forward or backwards, depending on what the car's doing. We'll see what Dallas Pataska does here on this restart. See if Tim Bills is able to get down as well as he did on the original restart. His car turns off here. We are green, green, green. Pataska gets off to a great start again, and you see Bills fill that spot and gets down low. Close battles here for third. Michael Goodard just out there on the outside. Gets a little tap there from Bill Martin. Great save. Guarantee that was incidental contact. Looks like Bill got a little bit of tight out of 2, and it is tight out of the turns here for sure. It is, especially as this groove widens out, it's going to get real tight out of 2 and 4. And you see Michael Goodard and Colin Allman's on the outside of Bill Martin making some hay out there. So maybe that top side is coming in faster than what I expected. I'm sure some of these other guys as well. As you see, Jimmy Mullis is going to be filling up outside of Bill Martin now. And it looks like the top side is the place to be. But they all fan out when they get down into 3 and 4 because you got to go where they're not. Great racing here for third as the top 2 have kind of squeaked away a little bit. Colin Allman going down to the inside of Michael Goddard. Jimmy Mullins, he started 9th. He's already worked his way up to 5th. Looking to pass these 2 guys here, so he's showing some good early speed. And this is a guy who stunk up the show at Oxford Plains. If you were with us a few weeks ago, he was he led every lap. He had the invert and led every lap at the Oxford Plains, and I think he lapped all the way up to 6th place. So he had a really good speed there. It's a little bit different track as this one is, well, there's no other track like Oxford Plains, but I'm sure some of the setup can carry over. As him and Michael Goodard having a great side-by-side battle here as they head off into 3 and 4, coming to take lap 30 of 150. Looks like Jimmy Mullis is going to end up getting that spot here as he's worked his way up to 4th place now. Going to have his sights set on Colin Allman. Go back here to Ryan Matthews and David Kikorian. And these 3 cars here, including the 2 of Josh Lambert, are having a great battle. Watch them come down to the front stretch here now and go down into 1 and 2. You see DK go down low. Matthews is in the middle, and Lambert's almost up top there in the second groove completely. 3 different lines, all running about the same speed. A little bit further back, going back to Matt Rolfe, I just noticed he was running the apron in 3 and 4. See if he does it here again. And like I said, it's one option. Apparently he didn't like it because now he's up top. That figures. But that is one way of getting around here is on the apron, and it still may come in as Kyle Souza does it right in front of him in the 14 car. Sometimes you can hook that apron and it'll de-wedge the car a little bit and loosen it up if you're tight. Take some time down there. As Souza and Samuel Roush are having a good side-by-side battle here for 12th place. Further up front, a little bit more. There's just battles everywhere. This is what I'm talking about. There's action all over this track, so I love it. Ty Spearman and Michael Goodard, there's side by side with Schaefer Jr. and Zach Novak, DK and Ron Matthews. Just throw a blanket over here for 5th through 10th. Like Goodard got in the wall just a little bit out of 2. Able to maintain. But don't look now. Let's go back up front, because right now we have a top 4 that are battling for the lead. Dallas Pataska, Tim Bills, Colin Ullman, and Jimmy Mullis. This is your battle for the lead right now. I would say this is the best battle on the track, but there's a handful of them. Means they're the leaders. They're going to get the benefit of the doubt. We're going to pay attention to them as Tim Bills goes down into 3 and 4. Pataska gets him by a nose, still leads that lap. Still officially no lead changes as Pataska's holding his own on the outside. Tim Bills trying to work the bottom. Colin Ullman goes all the way up to the 3rd groove, loses some time. Jimmy Mullis will fill that spot in the 3rd. Tim Bills did lead that lap, just barely. As he pulls out in front of Dallas Pataska, new leader, number 37, Tim Bills. Out of Kentucky. So am I. There's no coincidence there. He's fast, I guess. Well, there probably is. He's just fast. Jimmy Mullis is coming out of 2nd. Allman's now in 3rd. Pataska's falling all the way back to 4th, so he's falling off here a little bit as this track's getting worn in. That was our first official lead change, and before too long, they'll be coming up into lap down traffic. We'll have to see how they end up playing. Go back here to Joe Schaefer Jr. He's last year's series champion, 2nd in the points currently, behind Jimmy Mullis, who is in 2nd place. Him and Zach Novak are having a heck of a battle here for 8th place. You see his long string of cars that strings from about 6th to right around 14th, 15th, 16th. Ton of cars here in line where one little mishap could end a lot of people's nights, and it's been known to happen here before. Or Joe gets extremely loose. DK gets up into the wall. No harm, no foul. There are 3 wide on the front stretch. It's not going to work down the one as they get it figured out. Brian Matthews trying to capitalize on a mistake by Joe Schaefer Jr. and DK as they couldn't get it figured out, getting into 3 and got into each other. They give each other a little bit more room here. That's the 66 and the 6, so something bad is bound to happen here. DK makes his way around Joe. Joe's going to move up to the top line. Matthews is going to go back down low, square him off, try to get him down into turn 1. Another good battle for 9th place. Your Joe Schaefer Jr. kind of want to cap. As we got a lead change once again, Jimmy Mullis is passing Tim Bills on the outside. Colin Ullman's trying to follow him through. Mark Royer staying up top to try to give these guys room, and he did a great job of letting out the throttle there so the leaders can squeeze up and complete that turn. So we got a new leader, number 40 of Jimmy Mullis, is currently your point leader. And if this is any indication, as he's fast early on, like I said, started 9th. He's up to P1 currently after 50 laps of already a third of the way through here, and these laps will go quick, especially with these long green flag runs. And Mullis spanked them at Oxford Plains, and as I stated earlier, some of that setup can translate over to this track, and whether or not he did that, not sure. But right now, the car looks really good. Coming into lap down traffic, that's the 74 car, Mark Welch, that he's got the lap down. Mark stays high, gives him plenty of room. As a leader, that's all you can ask for. Just pick a lane so you know which way to go, get around him. That's what Welch did. Kudos to him. Currently, that last lap, Jimmy Mullis was in the flats. Everyone else is in the teens. So Mullis is just a little bit quicker than these guys currently. As Colin Ullman and Tim Bills are having a heck of a battle here for 2nd place. Mullis that last lap is in the 14s, only car in the 14s, so he's trying to set sail here early on. Feels like it's going to have a long green flag look to it. So the longer he can get away from him, the less he has to worry about Colin Ullman, who's been trying to work over Tim Bills, and he finally completes the pass for 2nd. So you got Jimmy Mullis in P1, Colin Ullman in P2, and Tim Bills rounds out your top three here currently, as those two guys have already lost about a second and a half to Jimmy Mullis. Go back here on the 2 car of Josh Lambert. Him and Kyle Souza are having a heck of a battle here for P12. Matt Rolfe is going to cut underneath him, and you got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars all over each other here for 11th place, trying to battle into the top 10 potentially. You got the 60 car Keith Metaros right there behind Matt. 13 of Samuel Roush, 12 of Drew Kryback. All these guys are fast at any given week. Currently, they're just battling for the top 11. We got a little checkup. They are checking up once again. Good job, all of them, but I run over each other. Fans them out just a little bit as Matt's still trying to work over Josh Lambert for 13th. And there's quite a few cars with right side damage. As I stated, they don't, but it seems like the turns narrow up, coming out of 4 and out of 2. We'll smack the wall at the right side here and tear it up just a little bit. Looking up here at David Kokorian, looks like he's ran down Michael Goddard just a little bit, and he's got Ty Spearman, Joe Schaefer Jr., and Ryan Matthews are still battling out back there for the 10th spot, 9th spot, 10th spot. Good little battle here for 6th, all the way back to the 96 car that gets into Joe Schaefer Jr. Joe is trying to save it. As he said, that's a hell of a save by Joe Schaefer Jr. That's why he's your 3-time defending champion right there, because he can make saves just like that without destroying his night or destroying the car and ruining his night. Souza gets by him, and he loses just a couple of spots as the 96 car of David Blitzky. Or I may have mispronounced his name, excuse me. Got into Joe Schaefer Jr. and Joe's doing okay. He's probably cursing up a storm, but you know, with a caution or so, maybe he can get back up here. And as I stated, caution that's out currently. Second caution of the night. Not 100% sure. That may have been Bill Martin's in the pits. He's 13 laps down. It wouldn't be him. Samuel Roush would probably be my guess. He's the one that's parked up top here at the top of the speedway. So something happened with him. We'll have to go back. We'll go back here to watch the replay. And there's the 96 there once again. Josh Lambert. See what happens. Oh, the 96 bounces off the wall. It's the same thing that happened with Joe as they stack up. Daryl Hamlin gets involved in it as well. He was just a innocent bystander in that. And Samuel Roush just gets hooked by the 96 as the 96 bounced off the wall and came down his right rear. And Samuel Roush was unfortunately not as lucky as Joe Schaefer Jr. was. Roush didn't really have a chance to save it like Joe did. So I have every belief that Samuel would have been able to save it if he had the same opportunity. Unfortunately, he was not, and his night's going to be cut short here. That does squeeze things up here a little bit. Jimmy Mullis was out to a 2.5 second lead, roughly. That goes back to 0 after this restart. We'll see what Colin Ullman and Tim Bills have for Jimmy Mullis. But if the past and the current race is any indication, they're not going to have much, as Jimmy Mullis is really showing some strength in his number 40 car tonight. We're on lap 71 of 150, almost halfway through. So far tonight, we've had 2 cautions, 2 lead changes. Dallas Pataska has the fastest lap here tonight. While we're under caution, we'll go ahead and bring up the race sponsors here again. Go ahead and give them a shout out. It's the Tundra Super Late Model Series, which is what you're watching here tonight. Loco Toco Designs, Midwest Power Sports, Hide Pride, Leather and Sheepskin, Cowboy Investments, Epic Media, Our Insurance Options, Back 40 Wraps Inc., Down East Chassis Works, Old School Motorsports, Dr. Noise, Area 52 Designs, Midwest Race Updates, and Dynamic Auto Sports. Thank you to those guys as we're about to go back to green here on lap 72 of 150. Jimmy Mullis is currently controlling it. Allman tried to time it. Mullis got off to a good start. Colin Allman's going to fall in play. Nobody's going to look at him on the outside. Coming out of 2, he's got a pretty good run on him. As that is extremely close. Got Zach Novak, who's a new player in this game. Where did he come from? He was coming from out of nowhere, all the way battling up here for third. He could be a contender here tonight. Novak didn't even qualify in the top 10. Not 100% sure where he started from, but he's already up here for third. Colin Allman currently is hanging with Jimmy Mullis. So he may end up having something for him. And if you're Jimmy Mullis, you may not be trying to use up your stuff here too much. As we're just past halfway. You don't want to use it up just as of yet. And he may have a longer run car, as we did have a long run there prior to that caution, and where he was really able to pour it on. Currently, Colin Allman still hanging with him, just a half second off. Zach Novak is now in third, and Tim Bills is in fourth. Michael Guttard is in fifth. Rounds out your top 5. Field's starting to spread out here a little bit, but the top 10, you can pretty much catch them in one shot, 2.5 seconds from first to 10th. So it's tight field here tonight. We are on a short track. It's only a little over 3/10 of a mile. This is a little bull ring in Virginia. Fast bull ring at that. Go back here with Todd Spearman as he's running side by side with Dallas Pataska, as David Kikorian's right behind him, and Souza. Spearman in the Native Cafe, Pensacola Beach, Florida, Ford Fusion, now the Posse Camp. On the rear bumper of Michael Goodard. Spearman trying to put it in top 5. He started, where did he start tonight? He started 5th here tonight, so he's trying to get back to where he was inverted to. He technically qualified second before the invert. Like David Kikorian, that top side's still the dominant side here, it looks like. Track's got worked in pretty good. You can see a nice, thick black groove all the way around the track, so there are options depending on what your car is doing. A lot of these guys are searching for ultimately the best grip, as DK just slams it in the outside wall there. I don't know if it was as bad on his end as it was on mine, but he definitely pancaked the right side. There's not going to be too many cars that don't have dented up fenders. It's very easy to catch the outside wall here. Spearman's falling back here now as he's on the bottom lane. He's probably going to be looking to get up at some point to the outside. That or his pills are kicking in and he's getting sleepy. He's just getting a little bit slower. DK's now trying to work over Michael Goddard. DK's out of the Wheel and Dillon Motorsports camp in his Exalta H&H Sign Supply Camaro. Michael's holding tough there. There's Mike Wood Race Engines Ford Fusion. Cal Souza's one coming in there and play too. So we got a good battle here for 5th place. They're side by side going down into 1. They're going to come up on lap traffic, who's Mark Royer. Royer's done well so far tonight to kind of stay out of everyone's way, and he's just running his own race. See what happens when they get up here to him. Then it's tied out of 4. Your best battle on the track is Jimmy Mullis has pulled out to a 7/10 of a second lead. Zach Novak, Tim Bills is third and fourth. Colin Allman still in second. See Royer stay down low. DK kind of squeezes up in here behind Michael. He's going to give him another run, probably go back down low. They're probably going back into one as he has a decent run on him here in 3 and 4. Holmes still stays up top. Right now, it looks like the bottom groove is not the preferred groove. Currently, there are 21 cars on the lead lap. Walls is coming up on the tail end of Matthew Murphy here before too long to put him a lap down. Currently, I mean, these guys right here from 5th all the way back to 10th, 11th. Joe Schaefer Jr. on the tail end of there is battling for this 5th place spot. They're lined up nose to tail. See if anybody ventures down low to try to make a pass. Right now, they're just falling in line, maybe just making some laps or waiting for someone to make a mistake. DK goes down low. Here he's going to try to make another attempt to pass him, but they're coming up on another lap down car, which probably DK noticed and decided to go ahead and abort that. Oh, but it looks like Gooder gets up into the wall a little bit. Going into one, pushed up. DK's going to try to take advantage of that now as he heads down low. See if he can get him cleared out of 4. He can't. Lap down car is going to be trouble. Anything is going to cause have some good action as DK clears him into 1 and 2. That was impressive. That was a nice little power move, and he's going to move up top and won't have to worry about it now. Ty Spearman's now looking low on Kyle Souza. Ryan Matthews. Once again, like I said, your best battle on the track is Colin Oman, and has kind of maintained his second place gap to first, right around 7/8 lap. Kind of goes back and forth as the first 4 cars are right in the 15.0s, and everyone else in this little battle is in the 15.2s or 3s. Gets a little loose out of 2. Bay State Sewage, number 14. Work lap 100 of 150. We're in the last third of the race here. By now, you already know what you got. You're just trying to make the most of it. If you have anything left, it's probably about time to use it. Running out of time. We're clicking off laps here at 15 seconds a pop. Thing can be done before too long. Go back up here to Zach Novak, the Kirkwood Transportation's Loco Toco's Designs Camry, and he's caught up to Colin Oman here, and so we might have a good little battle for second place as Tim Bills is kind of falling off there in 4th. Oman's been up front all night. Obviously, Jimmy Mullis has worked his way up from 9th to the lead currently. Zach Novak, who's really come out of nowhere. He's up here in 3rd place. Looking strong. He's working the bottom right now. He's one of the few cars that are doing it, as far as one of the fast guys anyways. Getting a lap down car there, Mark Royer. Royer's going to stay way low for Zach. Jimmy Mullis is the other car who's working the bottom really well. But that's exactly what he did at Oxford Plains. Worked the bottom groove and, just set sail. And that's kind of what he's doing here currently. Setting sail to this field. But as he keeps going, he's going to get into more and more lap down traffic. And that could cause, 2nd and 3rd place to catch up to him. Apparently he doesn't have to worry about that. Zach Novak and Colin Allman here have kind of settled down and kind of maintain their gap here from each other and from the leader. Go back here to the 05 car of Scott Alston, who's running side by side with Keith Melrose for 15th. Best battle on the track currently. Alston in the 05 Camaro. Good looking car. Battling there with Drew Cryback just in front of them. Matt Eddy, who got caught up in that early accident in 17th, working his way back up here. Yeah, trying to get in here, maybe try to get him a top 15 after an early incident. As Jimmy Mullis is catching up to these guys, so Mullis is starting to lap down almost all the way up to 15th place. Medeiros looks underneath Drew Cryback there. Falls back in line. These guys are, you know, as Mullis gets up to these guys are faster and faster. Harder and harder to pass, and they got their own little battles as well that they have to, that they want to work with. And there's Mullis now up on Matthew Eddy. So these guys aren't just going to let the leader go. They're going to want to try to, you know, pass the guys that are in front of them. That's their own little race. This is up to Mullis to get around them cleanly, as he's going to have to figure out what he wants to do. As Mark Welch there is up in front of him, falls in behind Matt Eddy. This is what I was talking about. It may end up letting Colin Allman end up catching up to Jimmy Mullis, because there's nowhere to go. The only thing he has to do is check up a little bit. As his lap times are showing it, last lap he ran at 15.5, and Colin Allman was 4/10 faster than him. So that's all he's doing is reeling in this lead as it's down to 1.2 seconds. As we have a caution. Oh, and there's still Drew Cryback and Keith Medeiros spin on the front stretch. And I think that's where the caution was. Looks like Ryan Matthews, excuse me, was the one caught up in the actual caution. Had two incidents going on at once. See if we can get Matthews here, see what happened on the replay. Tough break for Ryan Matthews. He's running fifth. Running up there towards the top 10. As him and Michael Goodard were Ty Spearman right there behind him. They're all running together. Souza, looks like he just got into the door. Oh, tough break for Ty Spearman as well. As Ryan Matthews goes for a flip. Looks like Michael Goddard didn't go all the way up to the wall as high as Ryan Matthews thought he would. Like I said, it's tight coming out of 2 and 4 anyways. Got into his door, got all crossed up, and then collected Ty Spearman as well. Tough break for those two. Those guys were battling right there for the top 10 spot. If not, only a little bit higher, maybe in the top 6 spot. Tough break for those two guys. Ty Spearman, he's currently still out there. He's a lap down now, P20th. That's a tough break for the Wiley veteran, who has been fast here. And he's going to go ahead and park it on pit road. Probably going to end up calling it a night. So it's a tough break for the posse, as they were fastest. They were first, second, and third fastest tonight. 2 out of 3 guys were on pit road. Bill Martin and Ty Spearman. Joe Schaefer Jr. had a rough go of it there, about 50 laps back with a lap down car, currently P8. Posse having a rough go of it tonight here at the South Boston Speedway. Currently, we've had 3 cautions, 2 lead changes. Yeah, currently Jimmy Mullis is leading away with Colin Allman. And it was just getting exciting there as Jimmy Mullis had a bunch of lap down cars. He was catching up to, or the tail end of, as we're at 1 to go. Colin Allman and Zach Novak are reeling him in. We'll see what happens here on this restart. Jimmy Mullis is going to lead us back to green. Going to be 123 of 150. Coming down to the tail end of this race here, and it's been a very exciting race. A lot of action everywhere on the track. These cars about to pull off. We are green, green, green. Colin Allman gets off to a great start. He's going to stay on the rear quarter, more likely to Jimmy Mullis. If it was anyone else but Jimmy Mullis, I'd say Allman may be able to pull it off, but Mullis has been strong. Height out of 2. Mullis has been strong down low. Zach Novak's right there in third. We'll see what they got. David Kokornian's going to try to fill in for 4th. Kyle Souza Don't even have a clue where he qualified at, to be completely honest. He's working his way up here trying to battle for a top 5. Already pulled it out to a 0.4 of a second lead. We have a pretty good battle here between Tim Bills and David Krikorian. DK trying to get around his teammate. These two guys are teammates. They're one of the few people left on the Wheel and Dillon Motorsports team, but they don't let it slow them down. These guys are fast week in, week out. David Krikorian takes over P4. Try to move up another couple positions. Here's David Krikorian, started 8th here tonight after the invert. And he didn't get inverted since top 6 cars did, so he's qualified 8th, started 8th. Worked his way up to 4th place here so far. So good night for David Krikorian. Looks like Jimmy Mullis has lengthened out his lead already up to 0.7 of a second. Flexing his muscles here towards the end of the race as we got 20 to go. Go ahead and look at Jimmy Mullis here. Conveniently has the RacingVirginia.com Toyota Camry up front here in South Boston, Virginia. Going the way for the hometown fans. His Toyota Camry's been hooked up here tonight. And he was pretty quick in qualifying practice and in race practice. But to be completely honest, never count this guy out. But I didn't know if he would actually have enough for the win just based off of those practice times, which isn't everything. But for here at SARA, it does mean something. As like I say, that we have the best super late model drivers out there. And Mullis is putting a spanking on him here as he's led the most laps here tonight. The only guy in the 14-second ranges. He's pulled out to a 1.3-second lead. In a matter of laps, it feels like, coming down to 14 to go. David Krikorian back here for thirds, working over Zach Novak. David Krikorian's found something here down low. Gets tight there in the middle of 1 and 2. He gets a little advantage out of 4. Novak still third officially. Nope, DK officially got awarded that one as they were tied. Still a really good battle here for third. Coming to 11 to go. Everyone else has fanned out. This is your best battle on the racetrack currently. Colin Ullman's kind of in no man's land in front of him, and Jimmy Mullis is pretty much waving to the crowd as he's going by. Ten laps to go here in the Dr. Noise 150. Tell you, there's only 3 cautions here tonight. I mean, this is a fast track. Whoa, DK gets loose out of 4. Got crossed up there a little bit. But if you've ever watched or raced with this guy on the dirt, you know that he has no problem with turning it right or left. He did a really good job of saving it there out of 4 without losing too much momentum. Now he's going to have a hard go of it with Welch right here in front of him. May catch him in a good spot coming out of 2. He lost a little momentum there, probably worrying about him. As Tim Bills now is fighting on the outside of him. It's a good battle for 4th. Maybe he can try to work his way back up to 3rd place. Oh, does he hit? The teammates hit. Oh, man. Good save by David Krikorian. Tim Bills gave him plenty of room to collect it up, but Kyle Souza is going to be your benefit. Going to benefit from all of this. As he already took one spot from Tim Bills. He's going to try to take another one from David Krikorian. A hell of a save by both those guys there. Like I said, those are teammates, and that's the last thing you want to do is hit teammates. Up here with 5 to go. Bills and Souza are battling it out pretty good. 4 to go now. Your leader, Jimmy Mullis, who is currently your points leader, is coming up into lap down traffic. That's Russell Berry in front of him in the 4 car, in the Russell, or not in the Russell, but in the Berry Trucking Chevrolet. 3 to go, but he's got a nice cushion back to second place where he can probably just ride behind Russell the whole time here and not have to worry about trying to make a pass on him while still maintaining the lead. Russell drifts up a little bit. Jimmy Mullis is probably going to find a spot here and go ahead and get around him. 2 laps to go. Going to be coming to the white flag here. Your final lap. Jimmy Mullis, your Tundra Super Sim Super Late Model Series points leader. Already got 1 win on the year. Coming across the line. Tonight, he is your winner, Jimmy Mullis. Dominating fashion. Took the lead, never looked back to a 1.6 second victory over Colin Allman, who finished second. Zach Novak third. David Krikorian with an awesome save there, running with his teammate coming in fourth. Kyle Souza barely beating out Tim Bills for fifth, rounding out your top 5. Great run here tonight for Jimmy Mullis. Like I said, in dominating fashion. Going to do a little donuts on the front. Show off for these Virginia fans that came out here tonight. Getting it done. Going to lengthen his point lead after tonight as well as Joe Schaefer Jr. comes out with an 8th place finish. Do a little Polish victory lap at that. And Jimmy Mullis started 9th here tonight. Came out on top. Leading 102 laps on tonight. So well over third of the race. He has led. He led tonight and came away with the victory. One of the few cars with very few scratches and dents on his car. Kept it clean the whole time. We're going to let these drivers get out of their cars. Might get some interviews with a few of them here as well. Meantime, let's go ahead and bring up the results of tonight's race. We'll go through the top 10. Stated, Jimmy Mullis coming away with his 2nd win of this year and lengthening his points lead. Colin Allman, who had an impressive outing here tonight, running 2nd. Zach Novak, still don't know where he qualified. Can't get it pulled up here on my side. But he finishes at 3rd. It was an impressive night working his way through the field. David Krikorian showing off his wheelman skills and finishing 4th. Kyle Souza finishing 5th. Tim Bills, Dallas Pataska in 7th. Guy who's P2 in the series standings, your 3-time defending late model champion, Joe Schaefer Jr. coming in 8th. Not the night he was probably looking for. 9th was Michael Goddard. And rounding out your top 10 was Josh Lambert. We'll go ahead and see if we can get Zach Novak in here. Maybe get a word with him. Your 3rd place finisher here tonight in the Dr. Noise 150 is Zach Novak. Zach, I was talking about you. You came out of nowhere, watching these front guys. There was good battles, and I'm not 100% sure where you qualified at, so you can probably clue me in and everyone else in where that is. But you made your way up to 3rd here tonight, so tell us a little bit how your race went.
Yeah, well, I didn't get much practice, so we qualified 14th, which was probably one of my better qualifying efforts this season, honestly. I haven't really been great in qualifying all year, but we've always had the race sets to, put us towards the front, and tonight was just one of those setups, like I said, qualified 14th, but quickly made our way up front, and we were in the top 5 by around halfway, I think, and that really long run that we had, about lap from like 30 to 90 or whatever it was. We were really, really quick. I was keeping pace with Jimmy, and he was running away with it. I thought, you know, if it went green, then we would have had a 1-2 there easy. And the long run car was just stellar, all thanks to him. And you know, it's just fun to, you know, tear through the field in this series. I think we've had cars to do it week in, week out, and just had bad luck, whether it's with wrecks or cautions falling at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's, you know, you and Jimmy, and there may have been one or two other cars at most that seemed like they could work right around the bottom really well. You know, everyone else was venturing up to the second lane, maybe even some to the third. So y'all obviously have something figured out there. Now, if you qualified better, you think you would have had anything for Jimmy overall?
Probably not, to be honest. Towards the end of that second long run, he was really pulling me. I burnt off my tires a lot. I think if I started towards the front, I might have burnt them off a little bit quicker, to be honest. But coming through the field, I was really, really patient with it, and I think that benefited me as a whole, just being patient with the car into the corner and off the corner.
All right. Well, congratulations here for your third place finish. It was a great race from you. It was fun to watch you come up through the field. Is there any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my teammates at Lockdown Racing. Server-wide, they do an awesome job on everything we run in, and I really do appreciate them. I also appreciate, especially Jimmy, for really helping me out in this series, and him and Matt Bontempi do a lot of behind the scenes work on these setups, and I just drive them. So I gotta thank them for, you know, giving me fast cars, and you know, gotta thank all my sponsors, Kirkwood Transportation, Loco Toco Designs, Sim Speed Shop, everybody that helps make this car look good, coming through the field or up front, wherever it may be. And thanks to you guys for the broadcast. It's been nice to see this evolve from top or bottom to top.
All right. Yeah. Well, appreciate it. And yeah, it was, like I said, it was fun watching you come up through the field, and we'll hopefully see you and catch you next week.
Bud.
All right. Thanks, bud. That's Zach Novak. We finished third here tonight. Like I said, started 14th, worked his way up to third. And currently we got the guy who finished P2nd, started 7th here tonight. Rounded out, like I said, second place, Colin Ullman. Colin, bud, you had a great race here tonight. Finished second behind Jimmy Mullis, who kind of spanked the field here again. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Well, started 7th. I mean, this week I had 0 time to get any sort of practice in or anything, so I basically just made a setup in the qualifying session after we got done qualifying, and changed a few things here and there of something I've been running pretty much everywhere, and luckily it was good enough for 150 laps tonight.
Yeah, and like I said, you led some laps there out front. You know, and Mullis got around everyone. He was pretty strong. Where do you think you were kind of lacking there, or maybe what you needed a little bit more to stay with Jimmy Mullis and battle for the win?
Definitely getting in the corner. I was pretty tight getting in. I could see Zach was be able to dive it off in there and get to my bumper before the center, but once we got to the center and off, I could drive away car length or two. But it was getting in the corner was definitely the game changer tonight.
All right. Well, it was a joy watching you. I mean, we talked about you there a lot on the cast. It felt like you were just, you know, constantly up front or battling with someone. Is there any like thanks or shout outs you'd like to give here to, you know, let everybody know how this all happens here for you?
I'd like to thank my mom and dad. They're both watching home. Miss you guys. Gotta thank my teammates Keith and Michael. They both ran tonight. Fortunately, I didn't have the luck that I did, but it's always fun. And thanks to Matt for the series, and thank you guys for doing the SARA TV. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Well, hopefully we see you next week. Next week we will be at the Milwaukee Mile. So best of luck to you there,
boy.
bud.
Milwaukee. Thanks, guys.
All right, bud. That was Colin Ullman, who finished second here tonight. With us now as your series points leader and the guy who pretty much stomped the field here tonight. Let everybody know what was going on. It's Jimmy Mullis. Jimmy, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. We seen you put on a show there. You led 102 laps. Started. Well, where did you start here tonight? You started 9th here tonight, and worked your way up to the front pretty early. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your race and your race car?
Yeah, like you said, it started 9th, and luckily, a couple of those restarts, I was able to roll the top really well. That's the only reason I was able to get to the front so fast. The outside was just killer on some of the restarts. And then once I got up towards the front, it was just on rails, and got the lead from Tim, and then just tried to save tires the best I could because I was waiting for Joe to come out of nowhere and for DK and all them guys to start coming through the field. And I don't really know why, but that never really happened like I expected it to. And yeah, the car was it was incredible. This was a setup from a season or two ago, and when I got in the race session, it wasn't even passing tech, so I had to lower the ride heights a little bit, but it was obviously still just as fast as it was back then.
Yeah, it's, I've misspoken earlier and say this is your second win of the season. It's actually your third. I forgot about the first week. It feels like a long time ago, to be completely honest, at 5 flags. And like I said, you spanked the field at Oxford Plains to lead all the laps there. And, here we are again tonight where you led 2/3 of it. You had Colin Allman, who was behind you, gave you fits maybe there, it looks like early on, but you had the bottom working, and there was only a couple cars working at the bottom. Is that where you were trying to be fast here tonight? Like, is that your key going into it, or is there you're just really just trying to make the car do work anywhere?
I mean, the goal was to get it to work anywhere, but it seemed like on the bottom is where it was really strong. So I tried to stay down there for the most part, and that obviously worked out. Colin looked like he had a pretty good car, but I know I was talking to him a little bit ago, and he was saying that he couldn't really get into the corner like I was able to. So, but yeah, he was definitely fighting with me at the beginning. So I thought that, there at the end, at that late race restart, I was going to have to worry about him. And I thought I was out of 2 and thought I might have put him in the wall. So I was kind of worried about that, but luckily I didn't. So.
Well, unofficially, you're up about 30 points with 3 races left, and Joe Schaefer Jr. finished P8 here tonight, and we're going to be at the Milwaukee Mile next week. You're looking forward to that race for the back 40 Wraps Inc. 100. Do you have anything for anyone there, you think?
I don't know yet. Definitely got some work to do on trying to get a setup together. I've never raced there, so it's going to be a whole new ball game. So having a 30-point gap going in there is definitely going to be a nice feeling because, it's just kind of takes a little bit of weight off the shoulders so that I can kind of relax because knowing that I haven't raced there, I don't really know if I'm going to do well or not.
Well, we'll look forward to it because I'm sure you'll be fast. You're fast anywhere you go. But before you get you on your way, is there any things or shout outs you'd like to give?
Well, thanks to you guys for the broadcast, Matt for putting the league on. I really do enjoy running this league. It's a lot of fun every week. Start of the season was a little rough with the cautions, but it seems to be getting better and better as we go on. So it's been a lot of fun. RacingVirginia.com and everyone with Richmond Raceway that has this esports program getting off the ground. So huge shout out to them, and thanks to my teammates at Lockdown Racing for their help on the setups every week. It's always fun to come in here and race them and race with everybody else in the league. So once again, thanks to you guys. Always a great broadcast.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I said, congratulations once again on the win here tonight, and good luck to you next week in Milwaukee.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, thanks, bud. That was Jimmy Mullis, like I said, the winner here tonight and your series points leader. And he really put on a show here. The show overall was really good. There's battles everywhere, as we've shown. You could throw blankets over 5, 6, 7 cars at times, where everyone's battling. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the series admin, Matt Rolfe. We didn't get to talk about him too much tonight. We finished 14th. Matt, there's a little rough go of it here tonight, but overall the racing was good from my point of view. How did it look from yours?
Well, unfortunately, from my view, a lot of cars are pulling away all race long. I pulled a Darrell Hamlin tonight and changed the setup last minute, and should have never done that because it just never had what it needed here tonight at this track. As you saw tonight, a lot of guys start rolling up to the high side, and it becomes really hard to pass. And from my view, it just didn't have anything. But out in front of me, I saw a lot of side-by-side racing. That's the only reason I ever really caught up to anybody, because they were battling so hard. We got to halfway through the race or so, and there's probably a pack of 8 cars in front of me. I said, if we keep doing this too much longer, we might get a wreck. And luckily, they sorted it out for a little while longer, and we had some good runs there. So it was good to see a lot of side-by-side. I know it was definitely hard to pass. I joked with guys after the race real quick. I kind of threw a shot out there. I said, no more complaining about Irwindale being hard to pass, because it's almost impossible to pass here sometimes. But yeah, saw a lot of good racing around me, out in front of me, and I don't think I ever saw Jimmy and those guys because they were long gone, but it sounds like they were on rails tonight, so he's looking pretty good with a couple races left.
Yeah, he was one of the few cars that really didn't have any right side damage. There's a lot of guys who were getting caught out of 2 and 4. But like I said, there's a lot of side-by-side racing here tonight. And from my point of view and from the viewer's point of view, I'm sure it was as exciting, as difficult as it may have been to pass. You know, you're running side-by-side, lap after lap. Something's got to give eventually. And, you know, but it just creates excitement all around. But next week, we're going into Milwaukee. And I believe you've ran well there before. So, you know, what do you look forward to most going into Milwaukee next week?
Yeah, Milwaukee's it's pretty a unique track. We have gone there every season in the super late model since we've started this division up. It's kind of been the one staple race that we've had, and guys seem to enjoy it. I know some guys don't like the track, and that's the case for any track, but overall we've had some pretty good racing there, especially now that we've gone back to a 100-lapper instead of doing some twin 50s or something like that. But these 100-lap races there, it's a long race, even though it's only 100, and gives a chance to guys to sort out a little bit. And yeah, I've had some success there, running, you know, top 5, top 10 almost all the time, so I'm looking forward to it. I'll make sure next week I don't change any setups before the race starts. Just run with what I know works, but I'm looking forward to it. I think you'll see the usual guys up there at that track. DK is always fast. Krikorian, he's always up there. Joe's usually pretty good there. Bill Martin, if he shows up, he'll be up there. I think I heard Jimmy say when you were interviewing him, he's never raced there before, so I'll be interested to see what he can pull out of the hat there, and if he does have some bad luck, maybe we'll have a good championship fight down to the end.
Well, it'll be definitely exciting to watch next week, as like I said, we'll be at the Milwaukee Mile for the Back 40 Wraps Inc. 100 and the Epic Challenge Week. I don't think there's any details on what that is, as it is a challenge week. Have those been released yet, or you have any idea what's going on with it?
Yeah, we'll announce more information this weekend to everybody on the Facebook page, but basically we've got 4 races next week across all of our divisions. So 410 non-wing on Monday night, dirt super late models on Tuesday night, SK modifieds on Wednesday, and we've got these super late models back here on Thursday night next week. So for any driver in the league that runs all 4 nights next week, they make every race. If they run all 4 races, the driver that has the best overall combined finish between the 4 races, they'll get some extra bonus money that Epic Media has helped put together. So should be a pretty good week. I think we've got some guys shooting for that whole week-long series. So I think it'll help our car counts a little bit across the week in the other divisions, which will be a good thing. And we'll see another good show on Thursday night next week. And I'll be interested to see who can do the best across all 4 divisions. I think DK is one to watch for because he's pretty good on dirt as well. You might have a couple of the dirt guys come run asphalt a little bit more too, which will be good. So we'll see how things shake up, but that's a little bit of info on that. And like I said, I'll post more on the Facebook page this weekend for more information.
All right, yeah, so everyone keep a lookout for that. Be sure to visit the website too at racesara.com. You know, check out all the details, and if you're not a part of the league, you can go to racesara.com and sign up for it. Potentially be a part of Challenge Week, Epic Media Challenge Week. And but before we move on to the final hurrah and send everyone out on their way that showed up here tonight, is there any shout outs or anything anybody you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank Dr. Noise, Bill Martin himself, for supporting the series and running here tonight. Not sure why he pulled off early, but at least he was out here supporting it, so I appreciate that. As always, Tundra Super Late Models and Loco Toco Designs for sponsoring the series, as well as all of our other partners that I'm sure you've had on screen at times tonight. And I got to thank the drivers. I always forget to thank the drivers because without them we wouldn't be running here on Thursday nights in this league. They put on a good show. Once we get some clean racing, we finally kind of get into a rhythm here, so hopefully we can continue that. But big thanks to them, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting, and get ready for next week.
Yes, sir. Well, like you said, a little rough luck tonight, but better luck next week in Milwaukee.
All right, we'll see you there.
All right. As our series admin and our head honcho around here at SARA, Simula Racing Association, Matt Rolfe. He finished P14 tonight. Not the ending he was looking forward to his night, but he'll battle back. Matt's always good, consistent. So we'll see what he does here next week. And like he stated, next week, we got the Epic Media Challenge Week. And come run our dirt races. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. You know, we got the 410 non-wing sprints, but we also race the midgets on Monday nights. So next week, 410 non-wings are at Lanier Speedway. Then the Super Late Model Series will be running next week as well on the dirt. Typically, it's the UMP Modifieds that race on Tuesday night. But this coming Tuesday will be the Dirt Super Late Model Series at the dirt track at Charlotte. And then you have your Callaway Sportsman Super Series, Callaway Investments, Sportsman Series that is running. And for that challenge week, it will be the SK Modifieds at Stafford Speedway. Switching it up all around. Last time the SKs ran, it was David Kokorian. That name keeps popping up, so you definitely got to watch out for that guy as he can get it done on the dirt or on the pavement. But without it all being said, that's next week. Tonight, it was all about Jimmy Mullis leading 102 laps and winning here tonight for the Dr. Noise 150 at Sobo. Bring up our series sponsors, as Matt spoke of just a little bit ago as well. I'll give them a big shout out. Tundra Super Late Model Series sponsors this series. Loco Toco Designs, who's a presenting sponsor for this series. And they also sponsor all kinds of other races for us and do paint schemes for a bunch of guys that actually race with us here and throughout the whole service. Midwest Power Source, Hyde's Pride Leather and Sheepskin, Callaway Investments, Epic Media, we'll hear a bunch about them next week. Our insurance options, Back 40 Wraps Inc., who's sponsoring next week's race in Milwaukee. Down East Chassis Works, Old School Motorsports, Dr. Noise, who's sponsored here tonight. Thanks, Bill. Area 52 Designs, Midwest Race Updates, and Dynamic Auto Sports. Go ahead and bring up the results here once more. There's your top 10. And like I said, Jimmy Mullis put on a great race here tonight. And for everyone that watched, we appreciate you coming out and watching the Simula Racing Association Super Late Model Super Sim Series. And Jimmy Mullis, series points leader, race winner here tonight. Congratulations to him. Thank you all for coming out. I'm Derek Robinson. Have a good night.